Mom 2.0 Summit actually started in Houston, Texas, just FYI. So on this episode, we have some incredible conversations on this couch right here. I mean, I'm talking about amazing conversations. We had a few people crying, like behind the camera. We had a few people spilling everything out there. I didn't mean to do that. They didn't mean to do that, but they had very intuitive insight. They were very excited about coming here to the Mom 2.0 Summit. And so I just wanted to get these conversations going because I know how it is to come to these conferences and how excited you are about joining in and talking to people who have the same interests that you do, being able to connect with them. They allowed us to record who they were and what they did. Now, there's several sprinkled conversations, and you know how I am. I go off the cuff, and I was all over the place a little bit. But I think I think we picked up the essence of what exactly Mom 2.0 Summit is. So, with that being said, enjoy these conversations. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Latina Leadership Podcast. I am your host, Angelica Casares. So let me start off with the fact that we're here at Mom 2.0. Mom 2.0 in Nashville. It's been quite a while that we actually were here. I don't remember it like this, but nonetheless, we're here again in Tennessee, good old Tennessee, for the Mom 2.0 Summit. So we're starting this off with a few interviews with a few amazing guests here at Mom 2.0 Summit. As y'all know, I usually do it just like this. I let the interviewee introduce themselves by name and what they do. So, okay. Be my guest.
Let's do it, Angelica. Thanks for inviting me. My name is Justine Ines. I'm original from Bogota, Colombia, but I'm living in the U.S. for about 7 years. I just came here with my student visa to try to learn English, but I met my husband, and now I'm here. I have 3 little girls, 3 under 3.
It's 3 under 3?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Girls under 3. My oldest is obviously 3. And I have a set of twins.
Okay.
They were just a huge surprise for us. They are 2-year-old. And they are just 15 months apart. In my country, I just have my degree. I study and I came here, and you know how the things work here as a Latinos.
Yeah.
And it was so hard for me. And now I think I have the hardest job in my life. Since become a mom is just the most challenging thing I ever had.
Yeah.
And I had a really bad postpartum depression with my first one.
Okay.
And I didn't know it until I got pregnant with my twins. And I have a high-risk pregnancy with them. And I was just in the deepest thing I ever had. And after I just had my twins and they were in the NICU, I decided to say, probably some women are like me. Feeling that so bad, and the motherhood are so challenging, and say, I'm going to inspire them and let's grow together. And I start to work in social media and create my accounts, and I start to connect with amazing people, and I didn't know the social media will be my best therapy. Even with my therapy, medicines, workout, but now I'm free, I feel happy, and I just want to empower all of women who are like me. We can do wherever we want.
So how did you end up here in Nashville? Because my understanding, I heard part of the conversation, parte de la conversación was that you actually live in Utah.
Yes, I live in Utah, and I just founded 2.0 on Instagram. And I say, I just want to go there and just to connect with people like me. It was kind of expensive, and I just start to find, if I everything start to work out, I will do it. I search for flights, and I have some credit in an airline, and I say, okay, that is a sign. I just book my flight and say, what I'm gonna do with the ticket? And I start to search on Facebook, and someone say, I can't go, just let's do it, and we switch it, and I just got it with a good price, and that's why I'm here. It's my first time travel solo.
On your own, solita.
Yeah. My babies are with my husband, and I just like to have everything under control. And it's just try to be without my comfort zone.
Okay.
You know.
So I hear why you come and share your message and come and share the thing that you have learned through postpartum depression, what life is like for you being a mom of 3 under 3, 2 that are young. What do you feel like you want to accomplish? Because this is your first time coming to a conference like this, my understanding. This is your first time trying to connect with other women within the same space just like yours. How important is like this something for you, this kind of summit?
Is so important. When I was writing my goals for 2024, I say I just want to work in myself and be better, and just try to work with my dreams. And this become my dream, and I didn't know I would like it that much. And I just want to feel, I don't want to be the woman I was before become a mother, but I just want to be a woman, not just a mom. Just try to connect and be better with myself and talk mejor de mí.
Sí.
And yes,
¿Te
just
quieres hablar con ti misma mejor de lo que estás hablando contigo? Okay.
yeah, be nice with me.
Ojalá, I really hope you connect with women here. I think women from the Latin community, las latinas especialmente, cuando hablamos de mental health, es difícil que la familia los entienda o que comprenden o que los tomen en serio. Es difícil a veces, entonces ojalá encuentres lo que mucho buscas, porque yo como también sufrí de postpartum depression cuando tuve mi hijo, entonces es difícil para poder explicarlo. Cuando encontraste la comunidad online, fue el mismo, was it the same to feel like you were connecting with the Latinas or the Latin community or las hispanas?
Sí, siento lo que tú dices, que las latinas tenemos como, nos criaron así, tenemos que aguantar, tenemos que, eso no es tristeza, tienes que seguir para adelante y hacerlo. And we are all like that. We are just in that like pressure to, well, it's how it is.
Yeah.
Y sí, he conectado con muchas mujeres y entre todas creo que nos hemos intentado ayudar a salir de esto.
Yo puedo hablar de mental health todo el día, pero con eso, bueno, te dejo. I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of the summit because I can talk about this forever. Thank you for taking the time to sit down and talk to me today.
Okay, thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited and so sorry for my English when I'm nervous.
Your English is perfect. It's
I'm
perfect.
so nervous. I just don't know how to do it.
No, your English is
I love
perfect.
it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Gracias. Thank you. Here sitting next to me, I have Brittany. Brittany had an amazing crowd around her. It was the hardest thing to grab her and pull her in. She's with How. Correct. So, Brittany, let's start with How, and then I'm going to ask you a few personal questions. Not too many, just enough to get to know you.
Sure.
Yeah. So what is How? Why are people so interested in it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first, thank you for having me. And second, How is an affiliate platform. So you also might hear the words like social commerce. And essentially, we are a platform that helps you monetize your content. And so what you would do, let's say you have a favorite brand. Let's say your favorite brand is Target or Nordstrom or Sephora or Ulta. You would grab a product that you love. You would pop it into Howl. It would change it into a link that's trackable. You can share that in your group chat, in a Facebook group, on your social media channels. And then if somebody makes a purchase, you make commission and you make money. So think of it the same thing as if you're in a store and they tell you when you go to the register, say my name, let them know that I helped you so that they make commission. Same thing, but this is digital and open to anyone on the internet.
So how is this any different from the other platforms?
Yes, so that is a great question. Our main thing is that we are like trying to democratize the affiliate space. So like there's no application. You don't have to have proven that you know what you're doing. It's the same thing like how are you supposed to get a job if you don't have experience, and how are you supposed to get experience if no one will hire you? Same thing. So we will take you whether you are a professional or you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Please help me. We will accept anyone. We want you to come on. We want to teach you. I'm the head of creator education. So we want you to learn how to monetize your audience. audience. So you can come in. So that's one very easy entry. Two, you keep 100% of your commission. So most platforms, there is a split. Yep. You've got it's like 70-30, or if you're really good, 80-20. Here, we charge brands every time you make a sale. So you get to keep all of your money.
How does that
because
work?
we just
it's
no,
like you know what, it's magic. I'm not gonna ask what's in the sauce.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, the brands got to pay for it, so they're the ones who pay for it, and we make sure you get all your money. And then the last one of the things I really like is like the transparency, and so you can look at your data, and when you sell something, not only do you get to see what they clicked on, you get to see their whole cart of what they bought, which is amazing because sometimes you'll say, okay, somebody clicked on this, and I sold some stuff. What did I sell? Yeah. You know, but when you've got like, especially if you're doing like a Target, somebody might click on a trash can, but they're buying curtains, they're buying toys, they're buying, stuff for the kitchen. And now you get a better sense of like who your audience is, what they like, and then how you can create content to better serve them.
So yeah, tracking them on like what kind of like items that they're also buying in inclusion to what it is, whatever it is that you're doing, right?
That's right. That's right.
So what success rate have you seen with the platform? How?
Yeah. So it's funny because affiliate success is like guaranteed. It's one of the strange things about this corner of the influencer world. When you think influencer, you think a lot about like brand partnerships. Yeah. But brand partnerships are very hard to get. You have to have the audience. Then you've got to get the brand to notice you. Then the contract terms have to make sense. Everything has to click. It's got to be beautiful, aligned in the stars, and then maybe it happens.
Yeah, just
but with affiliate, it's more of like a habit. It's more like going to the gym. If you go to the gym and you lift weights or you do cardio every day for a year, you're going to see a change in your body. Yeah. If you go once a month, not really going to see a change. And so affiliate marketing is the same thing. If you log in and you make those links and you put them out there, you don't just go tomorrow. You're like, I saw this, I'm going to make this link, I'm going to put it out there. You will have a hit. Just because that's how it works. And especially if you're like a mom, like we give recommendations all the time. Yeah. We're constantly saying, I bought this thing, it's amazing, you should get it. Yeah. And other moms are buying it, except because you didn't give them the affiliate link, you don't make commission. And so you can make it
the store still makes money.
Yep, you can get, even if it's like you're small, I've like made affiliate commission on the playground, just being like, they're like, what are those sneakers your kids are wearing? You want a link? Here you go. Here's the link. And so it doesn't have to be your Instagram audience of 100,000. You can make commission on the playground.
I heard you telling, the audience you had in front of you, I heard you tell them that you had a small creator who was making what amount?
So we have people who I think she has like 6,000 followers, and she makes about $45,000 a year. So people really think like you've got to be huge. Again, it's about the hustling. Are you like, listen, I shop a lot. Even if you don't shop a lot, what you have in your house is already something that can be, put up and shared. And so I always tell people, especially like moms, you're like, you bought a toaster oven, you bought an air fryer, you've got a washer dryer, you've got a vacuum, you've got everything you've bought for your significant other, yourself, your house, your kids. These are all things you've already purchased. If you just tell people about them, somebody will buy it because they also need it. And that's how you can do it. And so it doesn't need to be this whole thing. You can have one friend who buys everything you tell her to buy. She's a huge part of your income, and it's just your best friend, So, and it really, with the holiday seasons, you can tell everybody, hey, if you're going to shop at this place or that place, please use my link. And you can just tell your friends to use it. Yeah. And now you're making commission.
Absolutely. So I because I am the pickiest purchaser ever, right? And so I get asked like, hey, where did you get that from? I was like, I did the legwork and I'm giving it away for free.
Yes.
Right.
And so the free, like we're moms, we do enough free labor. So, it's like, don't give it away for free. If you're going to share the link, make it a monetized link.
We moms are the best brand advocators.
Yes.
And we are their marketing.
Yes.
So how do you get started? Where do I start? If I'm like a small creator and I'm like, hey, I have like less than 10,000 but I want to start monetizing some of this because I want to stay home more with my son, so I want to go part-time. Like, where do I start?
Yeah, so you just go to planethowl.com. Super easy. It takes like 30 seconds. You put in your email, you put in like your primary channel, you tap off a few brands that you like. You hit go. Now you're in the system and you're ready. So then you can just say, okay, let me look around my house. I always tell people, look around your house, find the 10 products you love the most. The 10 products you're like, these are my favorite. They're probably on Howl. Grab the link. Just put it out there. Yeah. Put it out there. get the feeling. And what happens to a lot of people when they do this experiment, I'm like, put it on your social, text it to your friends, then they get a sale and you get the rush. And then you're like, wait,
I could do it again.
I just made money doing that. And it's like, yes, that's the beauty.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. Especially, you know, being a mom is expensive.
Yeah.
Kids are very expensive.
Ah.
And, you know, it's a great way to like make money without having to like have a second job. Like, because the amounts you can make, I tell people, if you're going to take a second job and you're going to do 20 hours, you know, in retail or something like that, those same 20 hours, if you can, and again, not everyone can, but if you can put it into like your social commerce business, you will easily make more money than a lot of the jobs you have to be physically present for.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things, you can do them after your kids go to bed. You can do them before they wake up. A lot of our busiest linking time is 3 p.m. in whatever coast, because moms are doing it in the pickup line.
Oh,
they're
that's
just
right.
sitting in the pickup line.
Because they're sit there for like 30 minutes an hour.
Sitting there, making their links, posting them out. And so it is something, again, it's a habit. Where can you squeeze it in? But the reward on the other side is so nice, because you can just look at this other stream of income and know that like you're in control of it, because no one can fire you from making those links. You can't get laid off from making those links. It's not like, oh, this brand doesn't want to work with me anymore. Affiliate is like solely under your control, which is why it's my favorite type of marketing for creators.
Oh my God, Brittany. Okay, you know what? I'll leave the how alone for just a second, because I'm very interested in it myself. So, with that being said, how did you get started with how? Where did you come from? I heard a little bit of your backstory as you were talking to the audience again.
Right. Right. So I've been in the influencer space since the very, 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 very beginning. They're like OGs, and then they're like us. We're like when dinosaurs roamed the earth. So I was a blogger a long time ago, 2007. I was a nightlife blogger, worked in nightlife, had a blog, got nominated for some awards, loved it, then got married, can't be running the streets all the time because I need to be home with my husband. So I switched and went into social media, did a lot of social media work, got really lucky because of my blog work, and I was a brand ambassador for Nivea. So I got to fly to Germany and hang out with Rihanna. Oh. And I was like, oh, I could get paid doing this. This is like a career. So I went into social media, and then influencer marketing started coming around 2013, 2014. And I had a friend who I knew from my blog, and she said, I'm going to go start an agency. I'm going to go work at this agency. We're starting a team. I need someone who speaks Blogger. She's like, you're the only person I know who speaks Blogger. Please tell me you'll come do this. So I went and I worked on Travel Channel and Food Network, and hiring influencers, working with them, doing the whole thing. Then I went to Hearst Magazine, started the influencer team there, and that's 17, Cosmo, Elle, Harper's Bazaar, Esquire, all of that fun stuff. And while I was there, I wrote a book, because I realized all the stuff I know and all the frustrations I'm having with creators, they don't know better because this is so new. Nobody's told them. So I went and I wrote Influencer, Building Your Personal Brand in the Age of Social Media. That came out in 2018. And I think at this point, I think I've sold like 150,000 copies. And it's like in 6 languages, which is so cool. Every time I get tagged on Instagram and it's like a foreign copy, I'm like, what? But it really was the first book to say, you can make a living doing this, and this is exactly how you do it. And so after my book came out, I went out, I did personal coaching, I worked with brands, I was just helping the industry like find its legs. And then it changed. It was no longer this big sponsored content. I started seeing affiliate come to the forefront. I was like, this is the new, an affiliate is not new, but like this type of affiliate, this is the new wave. So I went back into affiliate marketing. I went to Collective Voice, which was Shop Style Collective. I worked there for a year, and then I heard about Howl. And because of all the things I said, the 100% commission, the transparent data, I was like, this is where, and the no application process. Because my whole thing, even from writing the book, I'm like, anyone who wants this information, I want them to be able to get it, because it's life-changing. I have seen people who are like, I didn't go to college, I don't know how I'm going to get a job. You know, people who were, you know, they were divorced from their husband and they like hadn't worked, and they're like, I don't have any money. Anyone who's just like, I need to make more money. This is, I don't want to say it's easy, because it's not easy. Nothing worth having is easy.
No, you're right.
But this is something, if you genuinely love people, giving recommendations, shopping, talking, which are so many other things we do as moms. This is a natural way to monetize that. And it's fun. And then you're in a community of people who are doing the same thing. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you have millions of coworkers, which is great.
which is a great way to start, right? Oh my, okay. So I could keep here forever, but you are at the booth, and I'm sure they're like dying to have you back because again, the audience is calling you. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast and have this interview with me.
Thank you for doing this sort of work. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. The audience is definitely interested in what you're providing and the information you're providing. Thank you so much. Gracias. Sitting here next to me is actually one of the influencers, one of those who Mom 2.0 actually does the entire summit for, is the people who want to join and who want to join the community. With here, I have Karen. Karen, tell me who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karen. Like she said, I am considered like an OG blogger.
An OG blogger?
Yeah, I've been blogging for going to 12 years. So I started off blogging about my life in New York City with my 4 kids. At the time, they were about like 10 and under. Mm-hmm. And now I'm pivoting and hoping to learn here at Mom 2.0 what I'm going to do with my blog. Since my kids are older now, and it's a different space for me.
Yeah, it is. Right? How old is your youngest?
15.
15. Oh, yes. Oh, they're ready to go.
Yeah, I have 2 in college and 1 going.
So I'm an empty nester. My son is gone to school, but not gone. You know how they're gone?
Yeah,
but
they're
not
never gone. Not in Latino household. We like them to come back.
Well, we do like them to come back. He left and came back, and I was like, what happened? He's like, I wasn't ready. No, but so, okay, you're an OG blogger. Mm-hmm. I got a few questions for you because this is definitely the conversation that I like it to get into. Yeah. What's the difference between then and now?
Saturation, I think. It wasn't so many bloggers. It was a very small community, especially in New York. Like, we all know each other. We went to events together. So our kids growing up together, and everyone figured out how to be a blogger and, joining the space. And it's very oversaturated. And sometimes it's hard because how many, brand deals can they give out, Not everyone. So it's like that pie where everyone used to have a piece of the pie. It's just getting smaller and smaller, the pieces. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the hardest part. It's the oversaturation now, but
there's a reason you still do it. What is that reason? Is it the community?
It's just the community. I love the community of women. I have my own community of Latina women in New York. Mm-hmm. We have a little small group of mom bloggers that been blogging for a while in New York City. Just that I basically watch we watch our kids growing up together in this weird world that people saw on social media and oh my God, how does she do that? How does she get there?
So sometimes when we talk about blog, because we're OG bloggers, me and my husband, I think at this point, Juan, how long has it been? Also 13 years ago, he used to have a blog called Juan of Words, and he used to rank as the first Mexican-American Latino blog, right? Of course, that only lasted for so long because other people came into the space and they took off, right? Yeah. And then there was influencers who were already famous, who were doing the influencing thing, and we were like, we can't have nothing to ourselves. We can't have anything to ourselves. What's going on? No. So what would you like? I mean, when we talk about the influencer space, we didn't know we were called influencers. No. We thought we were bloggers. We thought, bloggers. Hey, thank you for inviting me in. Thank you for letting me have a seat. Oh, there's food. Oh my God, this is pretty cool. This is amazing. I'm getting paid a couple of dollars. And then all of a sudden we're like, people are making $100,000 on brand deals. Oh my God. What in the hell happened?
We were settling. How do I get there?
Yeah. Yeah. So we were settling for those few to be recognized, right? So when we talk about the influencer space, what would you like to see shift or maybe change?
For me, one thing that I didn't like was the feeling of having to have the numbers and people buying followers and buying the likes and all that. Yeah. And I never did it. Yeah. So I kind of didn't grow as much as other bloggers because they did that. I know it's controversial to speak about.
It's okay.
So yeah, having transparency. One thing I do when I pitch, I audit myself and I show how many bots are following me. Yeah. So that's one thing I do to kind of. I don't have 50,000 followers. Yeah. But I have a community That's real.
Loyal community.
Yeah.
That is part of the change that I would like to see, because I do want them to see that, a lot of the times I don't get a lot of the comments, but I get a lot of the DMs, and it's hard for me to share the DMs that are personal to the brands.
Definitely.
To be like, this is the impact that I feel like I'm making, and I want to be able to do this to a place to where I can sustain and live off of and do all those amazing things. And I myself got lucky because we own our own business, and so this is fun, but I still want it to be, I feel like sometimes they don't take it serious. I can't take it serious if they don't take it serious because they don't want to pay me, right?
Oh,
and you
my
have
God.
this self-conflict.
Like, here's a $2.99 product. Can you post an Instagram, a TikTok, a Facebook, and tweet 5 times? No, thank you.
And I'll send you for $75 plus product. And you're like, I think it's going to cost you more to ship it to me than it is
and
to actually pay for me.
Yeah. I'm committing to,
to what we're doing.
To make this content for them. And sometimes they don't get it. Like, I used to respond. I don't respond anymore. I just delete, to be honest, because it's just a wasteful time.
Don't leave yet. There's a shift to come in.
I hope so.
Smelling
well,
it.
I'm here.
I hear it.
I'm
You're
here
at
for
Mom
a purpose.
2.0. You are. You are. Where do you?
And this is my first Mom 2.0. And I've been a blogger for how many years? I've never made it.
You've never been to Mom 2.0?
Never. This is my first time. I was supposed to come in 2019, but then COVID came. I was supposed to go to LA. So this is my first time. I'm from New York, so I get a lot of conferences in New York. So
they all go to you.
Yeah, so that tends to happen, but not really that much anymore. It's so expensive. But yeah, this is my first Mom 2.0. I've been trying to get here for 10 years, and I'm finally here.
You're finally here.
Yeah.
No, well, I think you'll get a lot out of this.
Yeah.
I think just talking to people just releases some of that, like, that tension of like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. I hope I do better, and I hope we can get to the place that we need to.
Yes.
Yeah. Karen, thank you so much for sitting down, having a conversation with me. So how can we find you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Chica in the City.
Chica in the City.
Yes.
Okay. Entonces, with that, we'll see you to the next interview. So, continuing with the summit, with the Mom 2.0 summit, I have here, can you give me your name and who you're with? And then we'll get into the questions.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Julie Cannon, and I am with the company Fertilifind.
Fertilifind. What is it that Fertilifind does?
So we are a platform that connects users with fertility providers. So we have about 40 different filters, and our goal is really to allow users to use those filters to find the right provider for them based on a wide variety of specifications like age, BMI, diagnosis, financial considerations, things like that. Fertility treatment is not a one-size-fits-all, and so we are really trying to make it more personalized and more interactive for people.
It's kind of sliding scale, right? These filters, these fillers, where are they, and how do you go about figuring it out?
The bridge that we are trying to fill is between getting diagnosed with some sort of fertility issue. So, for instance, my husband and I were diagnosed with unexplained infertility. So sort of no idea what's going on or why this is happening, but there's clearly something happening. And after that, we were not referred to a doctor to help with this, so we were kind of left to do the research on our own. So that's kind of the market that we're trying to address here. And when you access our platform, it's completely free for users, and the database is open to everybody. So right when you go on there, every provider in the United States is going to show up, and then you wean it down from there. So you use the filters to enter things important to you, and it displays results based on percentage match.
Okay, so when we're talking about the users, do you have several users actually that have gone through the process and have eventually succeeded in getting what they need?
Yeah, so we're very new. We launched really recently, a couple weeks ago, but we were in beta
you're
testing.
New.
Yes,
Okay.
very new.
Okay.
We've been gathering the data for about a year. That's how long it took us to really personally vet all of these providers. We have 867 listed currently in the United States, and so that took some time. But we have been beta testing with a group of women who have been going through fertility treatment. So we really got a lot of those filter ideas from those women.
So usually there's a reason why you initiate something such as a process like this.
Yeah.
What was the reason? I know I understand that you had infertility issues. What was the reason? Was it because you were getting asked from other people? How did you go about it? What did you do? Or what was it that ignited the entire conversation?
Yeah, so really, obviously from personal experience, my husband and I were trying to conceive for about 3 years and did the IVF process for a total of 8 months before finding success with that. And so really, I think it was just about my frustrations with the process and the lack of sort of transparency in the industry as well. So a lot of places will not give you pricing information or success rates until you pay a consultation fee, which I didn't love. I didn't really feel like that was, very fair or transparent. So we really wanted to kind of pull back the curtain on that. So our platform actually lists that information for every single provider. So you can compare apples to apples and kind of figure out the right fit for you.
I'm really unfamiliar with all of this. The infertility, like that entire space. Really unfamiliar with it, right? So what questions should I be asking? Say I'm really getting into this. Me and my husband have been trying maybe for 6 months and it's not working out. Where do I start? I mean, I know you can maybe go to the platform. Is there something specific? Is there like another approach? Or maybe a way to contact somebody humanly possible to be able to ask questions? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So usually what they say is if you've been trying for, it's kind of based on your age, but if you're, late 20s to above 30, what they usually say is try for about 6 months. And once it's over that 6 month point, you can kind of start looking into additional, options for yourself.
Okay.
So if you're over 35, it's shorter. It's like 3 months. But really the first step would be to go to your gynecologist and have the initial testing done. So like your ovarian reserve would be tested. They would order a semen analysis for your partner and kind of look at all of that. And then they'll either come back with the diagnosis and, potentially a treatment plan forward, or if there is no diagnosis, it's unexplained infertility. That's about half of people actually have unexplained. But from there, you're kind of on your own. The gynecologist does not provide treatment for fertility. So you're sort of left to navigate that world and figure out how to move forward.
A lot of the times it's the women who kind of take on the responsibility of the infertility. What has been your perception? And I'm assuming your husband has also been partaking in this.
Yes. Yeah.
What is it like for you and your husband, or should it be for a partnership?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, he's my co-founder in this and he's a software engineer. So we kind of combined our skills on this to create this for people. But, it's not something that I think men talk about with their friends.
Yeah,
he's definitely kind of feeling more isolated and alone than I am, being able to talk to my girlfriends about this and, have them have similar experiences. So I think that's definitely something that we're looking to address as well. Pretty soon we're going to be rolling out additional service categories, and male factor infertility is one of those.
Okay.
So urologists and things like that who can treat different issues that might be occurring with a man.
So is there resources for men also on the platform to be able to access those without maybe having to talk to their buddies or their friends or their pals? There's a lot of iffies, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people assume and believe it's a blessing to not even be able to get pregnant because they just, so for us culturally, there's a lot of stigma around being fertile women, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not fertile, it just means that you're kind of a waste of a woman, right? And that you have to be, husband has to remarry to be able to have kids if that's what he wants, if he wants a family. So I'm trying to come from a space where that can also be understood with part of the audience also is what is it? What is it? And how do we get men involved into the conversation where it just doesn't apply to women only?
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the time it is also, male focused. So my husband and I, he had an issue that had to be addressed surgically for us as we went into this, and as did I. I had endometriosis that had to be surgically removed.
Okay.
So we both had, a piece of the puzzle here, and I think that led him to be more involved and take a little bit more ownership. But, for everyone, that's not the case, obviously. It's going to be different from person to person. I just think it's important for them to be involved kind of every step of the way. And, we want this to also be a place where people can connect with others who've gone through really similar issues and kind of find solace in that.
Do you find that there's a lot of... around this, there's a lot of rally around building a community, or even around your platform. Do you feel that to be part of your existence within like the infertility space also with what you're doing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I think, at the beginning of this journey, I didn't really talk about it with people. And once I started talking about it, I found that almost every person I spoke to had either been through it or knew somebody really close to them who had been through it. It's actually 1 in 6 individuals worldwide will struggle with infertility. So it's very, very common. There shouldn't be a stigma around it. There shouldn't be shame around it. It should be something that, we're comfortable to talk about and know that we're not alone in. So I think that community aspect is really important.
Oh my God. I think this is a lot of really great information. Okay, so as those who are listening, where can we find you? Where do we start?
Yeah, of course. So you can find us at fertilifind.com. and you can access our database right there. We are completely free for users, and we require no sign up. So you don't need to input any of your personal information to access the platform. It's just all right there for you. And it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty user-friendly, but we certainly welcome. We have a little section on the website for this. We certainly welcome all user feedback, and we're iterating. As I said, we're kind of brand new, so we've got a lot of new things that are going to be rolling out shortly that we're really excited about.
This is really a lot of great information, especially to those the underserved population that doesn't have access to any of these items that you're talking about. But thank you. Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast and talking to me.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Gracias. Hola. So, continuing the conversation here with amazing guests at Mom 2.0 Summit in Nashville, Tennessee. Aquí to my left, I have Cynthia Edelman. So, please introduce yourself to our audience. Who are you? What do you do? And why are you here at Mom 2.0?
Beautiful. Thank you so much for having me
Absolutely.
here. So happy to be here. I'm Cynthia Edelman. I'm Venezuelan, Venezolana, Latina, and that's how we connected. Mom of two, wife. I live in Miami now. And I'm a marriage and family therapist and mindset coach. And what I'm doing here is getting out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
Working on those limiting beliefs as a business owner myself. And networking, getting to connect with awesome women, business owners, and brands as well.
I am the hugest advocate of mental health. How did you get into therapy?
Great question. So I was actually in pre-med, but I completely and totally hated it. I wasn't connecting with it. And one of the core classes that you have to take is psychology, kind of like Psychology 101. And I couldn't stop reading. I was great at it. I was just really thriving in that space. So I went ahead and I told my dad, I'm dropping out of pre-med and I'm going into psychology. And I'm the first and only therapist in my family. And then after that, what I realized, very different from our Hispanic countries, is that if you study psychology, you then have to get a master's. So then I went and got my master's as a marriage and family therapist, got licensed in my state, and truly, I realized that I wanted to be a doctor, specifically a pediatrician, because I wanted to help. I wanted to support other people, but I'm doing that. I'm doing exactly that, and I'm helping families and women, especially Latina women, break stereotypes, break limiting beliefs, reconnect with themselves, and do parenting in a way that works for them.
Yeah. So, okay, we're talking about family therapy, and like I know very well what it is to see and experience mental health within the Hispanic community. What has been your experience on the other side as a therapist yourself?
There's still a lot of taboo, for sure.
There is.
Taboo, limitations, financial,
Yeah.
The financial limitation side of it, because getting one-on-one therapy is expensive. And
It is.
unfortunately,
It is.
I get asked a lot if I take insurance, and unfortunately, mental health is not very well covered by insurance, and they make you jump through a lot of hoops. A lot of families, parents, and I understand as a parent myself, they don't want a diagnosis attached to their kid's medical record, which anyways is absolutely private. So another taboo is that somehow everyone will find out, and then this will be on social media and on Google, that you or your child is going to therapy, which is completely illegal and no one will ever know.
Yeah.
But so those are some of the limitations and taboos that I have to educate Hispanic families, that it is okay to get help, that it is okay to not be okay, and that you're just here to find solutions. You don't need to have a diagnosis. You're just coming to talk and figure out what's not working.
Okay, so I had this conversation with somebody else, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who, but I remember telling them this: how easy is it to go for a yearly physical for your body,
Yep.
but it's not okay to do it for your mind?
Yeah.
Isn't that part of health?
Mind and body.
Yeah. Right. So we could. Mammograms are necessary after 40. We're very much diligent on the physical part, but with not the understanding that a lot of the times, stress is a factor of some of the diseases. Stress doesn't help a lot of the structure of what the physical body is, and so we are not addressing those.
And a lot of them are correlated. A lot of stomach issues, headaches, body pains, physical ailments are having to do also with mental health as well. I think it stems back to psychiatry and when you were like crazy or loco and manicomio and things like that.
Yeah.
And so the typical answer is like, I'm not crazy, I'm okay. Why do I need a therapist?
I won't say who told me, but somebody told me. The reason I don't go to therapy is I'm afraid what it's going to uncover.
True.
So I want to encourage that, but I don't know the outcome of what that can potentially do, right? So it's like, for some, I think they feel like it's so nerve-wracking. It's such an exposed space to talk about certain things. So it's like, it's like going through surgery. It's like there's pain before, during, and a little bit after, right? But the idea is to tell me what you think.
Yeah, this is how I explain it.
Okay.
So if it's like a mountain, yes, they're probably going to feel crappy as they go up and you want to quit and you're like, why did I start this in the first place? This is so hard. It's painful.
Yeah.
And you may have some regressions because therapy and healing is not linear.
Yeah.
But when you're on that downhill and you made it, you're like, wow, I did that. So there's always, you're going to feel better for sure. Like there's always a benefit to therapy, not if you do only one session, but but that's another taboo that you need to be in therapy forever and you don't.
Yeah.
Many of my clients after 6-8 sessions, then we stop meeting weekly and then we meet bi-weekly and then we start kind of,
Monthly,
going away. Exactly.
And then bi-monthly.
And then they call me again in a crisis.
Or sometimes you do a check-in every 6 months, every year. Hey, how's it going? How's the last year been? How's your mental health? Yeah, I've experienced all of those. So I've been in and out of therapy.
And
I'm
it's
going
okay.
to expose myself.
No,
so
but
in
it's
and out of
okay.
therapy for like the last 10 to 12 years. I've had therapists like over 2 years. Some therapists are much shorter. And I had to shop around once for a therapist. I was like, where have all the good therapists gone? And every time I try to like seek out, and this was during the pandemic, it's like, we're no longer taking new clients. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, there is a wait list for sure.
Yeah.
Especially finding Latino or Hispanic therapists.
Culturally relevant,
Yes.
culturally understanding. It's not even the dialogue or the dialect or any of that. It's somebody who understands the culture just a little bit, so I can like relay like what I'm saying. So
and
maybe
you don't
they
have to explain
understand
so much because they understand.
Yeah. They definitely do understand, right? Why is your relationship like that with your mom? It's like, oh. So it turns out I can't completely cut off my mom because she will not let me. It's impossible. It cannot happen. And to be honest, I don't want to.
But we can create new boundaries around
Correct.
that make you feel comfortable.
Yeah, so when I this is the cultural relevance that I talk about, right? Yeah. It's that, dang, no matter how many times you say it, I probably shouldn't be talking to my mom just brings up these topics and conversations and ignoring them isn't going to help. They're like, well, stop talking to her. I was like, have you met my mother? Like, she is a Latina.
And we don't want to, like you said, we don't want to.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we have to retrain them because we're also, as millennial moms, we have to understand that they grew up in another era, another moment where even maybe they had some of these same issues with their moms. So how can we have the best way to connect with another human being is through compassion. So stop talking about you and talk in a way that she'll feel related to you.
Yeah. See, this is the stuff I learned in therapy myself. Okay, bueno, before we get into a therapy session, so let's
charge you.
Yeah, bill my husband. No, I'm just kidding. So let's talk a little bit. What do you do online? What is it? How is it that you connect with the community online themselves?
Thankfully, through Instagram and through a newsletter, a newsletter, I've been able to connect with so many women, not only in Florida because that's where I'm licensed, but also now as a mindset coach throughout the United States and even all around the world. So it's been a great platform to connect through maybe creating a reel and they're like, oh my God, that's what it was like, growing up for me. Or that's exactly how I feel right now. And just one post or one newsletter can help a mom feel totally like connected to me.
They felt seen,
heard, validated.
Yeah. That speaks such prevalence to all the women out there who just, I feel like we carried the weight of the world during the pandemic, and now after it feels like we're healing a little bit, that healing purpose. So if you don't, please visit a psychiatrist, therapist, counselor, coach, once, at least once, just visit the same way you would visit a doctor for a physical.
And see it like this. Go to one session for that 1 hour, because usually it's really, truly 50 minutes. It may go over a little bit, but like, just go in, no expectations. Maybe it's your therapist or coach. Maybe it isn't. And maybe you'll want to continue coming and seeing like, that wasn't so bad after all. So try it just once and you'll take it from
Más
there.
una vez. Trátalo nomás una vez y de allí you make your assessment. Maybe it might not be for you. I get it. You know, but sometimes we shop around for doctors, so
That is
it's
true.
okay to even shop around for a therapist that fits you. Bueno, with that being said, where can we find you?
Yes. So my Instagram and even my website, it's my first and last name, CynthiaEdelman.com, and at Cynthia Edelman, as it sounds in Spanish, Edelman, así, E-I. And yeah, that's how you can connect with me. You can even book a free connect call to see if I am your therapist, if you're in Florida, and if you're anywhere else, your coach, your family coach, your mindset coach. I even do a lot of couples coaching as well to work on communication and reconnecting as well. Yeah.
Oh my God. Entonces, Cynthia, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate this. Let's see if we can do a longer session. Let's see if we can take the time and dive deep into some of these conversations that I know affect our Latina community, that I know we so desperately, necessarily, very much need.
And let's break those taboos together as well.
Yeah, let's start setting some boundaries and breaking some barriers and doing all the great things that we should be doing.
Thank you. This was the best surprise out of Mom 2.0 Summit, for sure.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Cynthia, muchas gracias. Thank you for coming on.
Gracias.
Awesome. Hi, and welcome to another sit down here at Mom 2.0. On the couch today, on the couch at this moment, I have Kate. Kate with Markable AI. Kate, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm very
Absolutely.
excited.
Kate, tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, I want to know a little bit about you. How did you end up on Markable AI?
Yeah, so I literally met our CEO, Joy, at a Christmas party.
Okay.
And we were just talking about what each other did. And she showed me the app, and I was like, this is the coolest thing I have ever seen. I want everybody who sells things on Instagram to use this because it makes shopping so much easier for people. Like, you don't have to log in. You don't have to do anything. I just click a link. It sends me there. It's so easy to buy things. I was just like, this is amazing. Let me do this.
Let me do this. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it exactly? Because now I'm intrigued.
Okay. Yes. So Markable AI is an all-in-one app for creators that have Amazon, Walmart, and Target storefronts.
Oh.
So if you have any of those and you're using all of these different items to like deep link, and you're using like auto reply DM, and you have a different thing that you're using for your links in bio, we combine all of that into one app for you. It's so easy to keep track of everything. So we integrate with your Amazon, Target, Walmart storefronts. Everything just seamlessly comes right over, so you don't have to copy and paste. You don't have to search through anything. You can just see the picture or search what you're looking for. And then we have AI collage features that save you so much time making those collages that you see everyone posting of like my spring outfit. It takes those creators like so long to make everything.
I tried. I gave up really fast.
Yeah, exactly. So this will help you.
Okay.
It's so easy. You just click the products that you want. Hit create collage, 20 seconds. You got 4 options of what you want. You can adjust the colors, you can add your logo, really make it personal for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was it? What gap were they trying to fill when they created this app?
Right. So initially Markable was with Instagram Shop when that was the thing. And once that kind of dissolved, all of our creators were like, what are we gonna do? Like, how are we gonna make it now?
This was easy.
Yeah, like what's happening? And so we kind of listened to them. We talked with all these top creators, and we found out like, what are the big things that you use all the time that make your life easier and make your life quicker? Because we know as moms, everyone's busy. We don't have time to sit around on Canva forever.
No.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
So we created this app with creators, and then so we made everything. So we have everything that you could need. We have the collage feature. We have a link in bio feature. We have a shop your Instagram feature. We have an auto DM feature. And then all of your storefront is right in this app. It's overwhelming how much stuff there is, but it makes it so much easier because you don't have to remember your logins for
User-friendly.
So user-friendly.
Things connect.
So user-friendly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because that's part of the hard. Look, I make like passwords to everything. I can't remember anything.
I can't remember anything either.
And build a strong password. It's automated, and you're like, perfect. Can you remember it for me?
Yeah.
So like, what is it? What does it take away? I know it takes away time now. It takes away time from your everyday for you to be able to do what you need to do, to be able to plug and play the items that you need to hopefully get others to shop the items that you have, right? Because we get asked questions. Sometimes you get asked questions, simple things like, hey, I like that eyeliner. That's matte. Where did you get that from?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's Elf, blah, 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 blah. And by the way, it's on sale, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and whatever. Right? I know it saves time.
Yes.
What does it also provide?
It also provides all of these features in one place. So you don't have to keep track of all of your passwords. You're not paying for all of these different features that you have to pay each different subscription service for. So otherwise you're paying like one to do your auto DM, one to do your link in bio. This, we're all in one. And we have different payment plans that we can get into. And we have fun referral bonuses if you love us and refer your friends. And then we also have some brand partnerships that are exclusive to our members. So we have a lot going on, and so it saves that. It gives you all these exclusive membership deals that you could have.
Nice.
And then like everything you share too, you can keep track of. So if you had this amazing product that you got went viral a couple months ago, you can just reshare it again. Everything stays, you can track it all, and then you're like, send it again, and then everything's just coming back in.
Yeah. We seen that hand movement. We know what that means. Okay, so if I was a new user and I wanted to apply, do I have to apply? Do I just use? Is it just, it's plug and play, right? That's
plug
it.
and play. Yep.
Okay.
You just have to download our app, and then you just sign in. You can create a username with your Apple ID, Facebook ID. Just sign in, create your own username and password. You get in. For everyone here at the conference, we're offering a month free trial.
Yeah.
Usually it's 2 free weeks, but everyone here gets a month. And then after that, we kind of see how many clicks you're getting. And then there's different tiers for the payments kind of based on how many clicks. But after that, like you hop in that first month, me, Melanie, and another creator, Eric, or another creator success manager, Eric, we are all on board, like always available, ready to have Zoom videos. If anyone has any questions, you can reach out to us there. You can reach out to us on our Instagram.
That's the lovely part about a startup, is that you can, like the creators of the actual app, you can able to like ask them the direct questions. Not only that, but they love the amazing feedback, because that's how they process those apps to be able to be much more user friendly and work around what it is that you need to do. So if you're on there and you want an app just like this, the time to join is now. The time is to get on there now and be able to do it, to be able to get successful, like those, you know, because once it starts to grow, it starts to outgrow, and it's the better common for the better good. And so, yes, your voice is always going to matter, but the fact that you can get direct communications and contact, because we all know this is where it's moving.
Right.
This industry, it's where it's moving. It's where it's at. So, with that being said, where you can download the app, and that's it, right? So the app is called exactly as you say it?
It's called Markable, Markable, AI, and then it has a dash smart deep links. And you'll find that on the Apple App Store.
Okay.
And we also have a desktop version, and then we're working on some Droid services, but right now we're iOS. Sorry.
You know, I'm not complaining because I am an Apple girl.
I know,
so.
me too.
With that being said, Kate, thank you so much for coming and talking to me today.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, you've had a lot of really great information. I'm looking forward to downloading it myself.
Yes,
let's see if I can
right
use
on
it.
Board.
Yeah, I'll let y'all know if it's easy to use. But you know what? Nobody lies about these kind of things because we already know.
Yeah,
it's easy to look. If you're not going to make it easy to use,
it's not going to. It's not going to last.
It's not. Yeah. It's not. So with that being said, check them out.
Yes, thank you.
So here on the sofa, once more at the Mom 2.0 Summit, I have
Jessica Cuevas.
Jessica Cueva, what do you do and where do you come from? Yes. Give me all the good stuff.
Yes, of course. Well, I'm Jessica Cuevas, and I am the founder and creator of Viva la Mami. It is a space for Latina moms by Latina moms in which I create a podcast. So I have a podcast and also a community just to help inform Latina moms about their motherhood journeys. So I interview a variety of experts in the field to kind of help them inform and empower them to choose their own kind of journey and redefine it in a way that best fits them. Oftentimes Latinas are very influenced by our abuelitas, tias, mamas, and that's all fine.
Yeah.
But when we add in when we add in like our lived experiences in the United States, it does make it a little different, in which we live in this duality. And so as bicultural Latina moms, I'm just helping them inform, and that way they can kind of create their own path.
When you say create their own path, in terms of education, in terms of being a mom, in terms of raising children, what are you focused on?
Motherhood specifically, or madrehood, which I like to say. But it does have to do a little bit of like well-being, right?
Okay.
Making them feel that they can make the decision for themselves and not no one else. So that can be based on their careers, right? That can be based on, just like their lived experiences at home with their relationships, navigating those relationships, not just with their partners, but their moms as well. And then also how they can be better present mamas and balanced mamas specifically in front of their children. So it's just a platform for moms, but in general, it's so that they can feel like they have the empowerment and support, so that way they can redefine their own version of mother.
So it's basically an entire new division, not even a division. I don't know where I was going with that one. No, but it sounds like it's a whole new space for. Okay, why did you start it? Where did that come from to want to change the narrative like that?
Yes. So it all started when I was pregnant of my first, and this was in the middle of the pandemic. So literally in the midst of the pandemic, I got pregnant, and not. Obviously, we all were alone in our homes. We were all in isolation, and I was like, okay, well, I have no one to talk to, so I'm going to check on Google and Google search Latina mom. Well, if you literally search Latina mom, even on YouTube, everywhere, you get these images of la mamá con la chancla. And I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't a Latina mom. Honestly and personally, I didn't grow up that way. I never got spanked or hit by el cinto, la chancla, So for me, it's like, why are there stereotypical images of a Latina mom when this isn't me and this isn't who I want to be?
Yeah.
So it's almost like this image gets perpetuated. And that's why I wanted to create a space for Latinas to feel like, okay, this is a different version of what motherhood is. And so I'm here to kind of help them see a true image of a Latina.
A true image of a Latina. As we know, there is no ideal Latina mom.
Yes, exactly.
So when you give, is it like, I know you say find your own path. That looks like a lot of different directions that you can go in. Tell me what that looks like for those conversations that you've had with others, or what does that what does it mean? I'm trying to understand a little bit of if I was to go on your platform, what would I see?
Yeah, so...
Or what would you talk about?
Yes. Well, I would say that in terms of creating your own path, there is no rule book, and as many podcasts that you listen to about parenting, as many books that you want to buy about parenting, there isn't a specific rule book or manual on how to parent, right? Okay. It's oftentimes chosen by us and how we want to make it and create it. But what gets a little bit complicated is when you add our cultura, right?
I see.
So when your mom tells you oh, cobija tu bebé because, he's going to get sick.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Or it's because you just want to warm him up. And I'm fine with that. You can put as many cobijas on Marcos that you want. Yeah. But if I choose not to, how does that look like? Does that make me look like a bad mom?
You're trying to get all of us in trouble.
Right. But this is when I'm like, you got to create your own path, right?
Yeah.
And kind of feel like you have the power to do so. And especially as Latinas, our moms still want to parent us, even when we want to be, when we are parents.
I think you just talked to my mom earlier, so you obviously know. I was like, you're trying to get us all in trouble.
But that's how it is. Like, that's how our moms grew up too. They were rebellious. They were rebels as well. Yeah. And why can't we be, right?
Yeah.
And create our own version of motherhood.
Oh my God. Okay, it's a good thing my mom doesn't understand too much English, because she'd be like, what did she say? She said what?
My mama does. She's like, oh, hablaste de eso. Oh, ya estás hablando de mí. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, I'm sorry. And she knows I love her.
So changing the narrative today, the now. I feel like you're talking in the future, but you're talking now. Mm-hmm. This is the now. I'm not waiting for my kids to grow up and for them to see different, or for them not to see the flying chancla of the things. I mean, because we laugh about it, right? Because we sometimes, even though we didn't experience it, we've seen our friends experience it. And it's a conversation that I think we can relate to. But just like you said there, I can't relate to that. Mm-hmm. I didn't relate to that. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole other side that my parents were trying to change that narrative at some point, at somehow, some capacity or something. And I'm taking that baton and taking it further.
Yes. Yeah.
And that further, for me, looks like the future. You're talking about it now, right now. Mm-hmm. So, am I on that? Am I okay?
No, yes. As millennial moms, for the most part, or Gen X, I know that there's a lot of this new wave of Gen X moms as well. Like, it is our responsibility to reclaim our culture. Mm-hmm. And how do we honor it in a way that we can preserve it, but also modify it in a way? Mm-hmm. And this is why our families came here, right?
Yeah.
They came
for change,
right?
Yeah.
For us to make that choice and decision. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that you went through this experience when you went to school, right? Mm-hmm. If you went to college, you decided to further your education so that you can be a better version of yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's the same kind of aspect that I want to bring into this motherhood space. That, yes, there's a lot of resources, mm-hmm. and yes, there's a lot of options that you can take. But honestly, there is also a lack of representation within the Latina motherhood space that oftentimes doesn't speak our language, literally. Doesn't speak like the nuances of our cultura. Yeah. So how can we honor our culture, but also reinvent the wheel sort of thing to create this beautiful version of motherhood? So
so my son, sometimes I feel like he feels very much lost as a Hispanic kid, and so he seeks to want to ask questions, to understand, to get to know more. The fact that you're doing this now, right? We're not waiting for our kids to do it.
No.
The changes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now. Yes.
I like that. All right. So I'm going to go subscribe to your channel.
Yes,
I'm going to go subscribe to your podcast. So where can we find you?
Absolutely. So you can find me on Viva la Mami, on the podcast. I am everywhere, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm also on Instagram at Viva la Mami. And then you can go to my website as well at www.vivalamami.com.
All right. Gracias. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for having a conversation with me.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Today on the couch sitting next to me, I have Priscilla. Priscilla, we were having a quick conversation and I want to record it.
Sure.
I hope you're okay with that.
I am.
So we're here at Mom 2.0 Summit. I didn't ask you, why are you here?
I'm here to connect with other moms, and interesting enough, I saw your Latina podcast, and building a community is important.
Yeah.
And your last conversation was really, really resonating with me because I'm Mexican American. I come from Tucson, Arizona, and my father's Yaqui Indian. Right out there. And it's funny, but it made me think of in college, they wanted you to join a club, do something. I tried the accounting club and realized I'm not the 10%. So I didn't really relate there, I'll be honest. And then I tried the Latina club. What was it? Or the Native American? I'm trying to remember. But they were like, why are you here? I was like, okay, I'm so out of here. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And it's like you were just talking about redefining what we are like right now.
Yeah.
And what our culture's like and what's lost and what's great. I'm constantly looking for myself to relate to somebody. I realize, and then I'm just hearing how it's very important to find that. So Mommy 2.0, I was like, oh, I'm there. What is it about? And I've learned so much here
Yeah.
community.
Uh-huh.
Gosh, podcast, everything. It's a lot. I
It's
just
a lot
love
to
it.
learn. It's a lot to
Yes.
learn. So it was the conversation right now we just had Jessica. We were talking about the new wave of new moms of trying to change the narrative, right? Trying to change the conversation just a little bit and fitting it into the community. Do you feel like you can build a community here at Mom 2.0?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. The way we all are trying to help each other grow, promote. I think that's really important, and I'm glad I found it. And just actually sharing with somebody, I was at a doctor's appointment a year ago. My daughter has a heart condition as well, and she was at the Boston Children's Hospital getting her MRI checkup, and it's kind of a lot because they have to go under when they're little like that.
Okay.
And it's kind of stressful. And I was sitting in the hotel lobby, I think, watching this influencer, I guess, so to speak. I think it was Nikki. And she was actually at the Mommy 2.0, and it happened to be in Phoenix, Arizona last year. And I related to like her sick humor, Arizona, and Mommy 2.0. What's that? I need to be part of that. And from there, I had a moment, and it happened to be right when they announced or opened up the tickets for here.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm just going to do it. And so much has happened between there and now. And like, I just give myself kudos for actually following through with something, actually making the plan. I mean, I would be so wanting to purchase a ticket to be like, oh, call that a loss. It's just not going to work out. I didn't need to go. What am I thinking? I'm not a mom of like a 2-year-old or, you just had all these assumptions in your head. And,
I don't dress like that. I don't look like that. I don't talk like that. Yes. That's not me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally exactly what it was. And then realizing, no, you're here. You're totally part of a community and you relate and others relate to you. And I'm just glad I did self-care.
When everybody comes there nervous. There's a lot of nervous people out here. And it's so after a while, after a couple of hours, that everything that it's built comes down and everybody's walls start to come down and they connect with you on a whole other, it's no subhuman level. It's a human to human conversation that we have.
So
right?
True. Yes.
And we're all trying to do one thing. It's take care of our kids.
And that's one thing we can all relate to. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter you're a mom with a bratty kid. I think there's a mom that does a podcast on difficult boys and parenting them. To, like I said, me of a mom. I think last night one had said, so you're a medical mom. I said, that's funny because I try to call it something like, I'm mom of a chronically ill child. And you would never know that. She's the most beautiful little girl. You don't know what this is going on the inside of her. But that's what, like everybody.
Yeah.
Like you said, you actually break down all these barriers and we're just all simple humans. We go to sleep, we eat, we have to fuel ourselves.
Yeah.
And you find that connection, I guess, so to speak. You're right.
So what do you feel like you're going to take back home?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was thinking that I really want to share and help others. I've had a lot of journeys through the diabetes. She also has a rare genetic disorder where she had to have open heart surgery.
Okay.
And with that, the stress of it was intense. And if I can help one person with that, I realize in here, this is going to give me an avenue to share, whether it's a podcast or just sharing through social media. Anywhere I can connect and help a mom, I'm there. I'm finally in a space where I'm not on that side anymore. I'm like, wow, I've really grown. I can do this. So this was a way to just almost like birth the idea, I guess, so to speak, and take it from there. I made an appointment to talk with the gentleman about writing a book. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've never, ever would ever think that I can add 2 + 2, but I just sentences.
So you really came to make yourself uncomfortable.
I did. That's so funny because just the thought of it was like, I'm stepping into my uncomfort zone. That's good.
Yeah.
In fact, my motto this year was, I'm going to fail and I'm going to fail hardcore.
Yeah.
Because
you learn a lot about yourself. Yeah.
That saying of you can only fail if you try.
Yeah.
So
you know what? A lot of people fail forward. So
right, fail forward. I mean, and my husband's been laughing at me because I said that. I was like, look, the truck died, the work truck died all at once, and I'm trying to think what else had happened. This was something that I was like, we're failing. Don't worry. I mean, we've got this. And I feel very successful in stepping out of my comfort zone. It's one of the best advice people tell you. You're comfortable. you're not doing anything right.
If
You
you're
gotta step
comfortable,
back.
if you're what do they say? The what was the saying? Something. The growth, the one number one killer of growth is comfort.
And then if you're comfortable, don't stay there too long.
Yeah. The number one killer of growth is comfort. It's comfort. You got yourself real comfortable. It's good sometimes when you're taking a break and you have to take a step back to be like, okay, I need a moment.
Yes.
I need a moment, but it's time. It's time. Time keeps moving. You gotta keep moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like I've been sitting a little too long. I was very nervous, trying to master the diabetes and all that. And that's what I was telling everybody. My motto was, hey, I got through open heart surgery with a little one during the pandemic. And I got through kindergarten with a diabetic. And if I could do those two things, they would like literally would stop my heart breathing.
Yeah.
And now that I've accomplished those two things, I'm like, I can handle the next thing. And the next thing came unexpectedly. In the last 8 months, my parents are 71 and 72. And I asked them to move in with me, thinking I was helping them as they go into their next stage of life. It completely backfired on me to no end, a very tragic end. My father ended up selling his house and having a manic episode that he's still in yet denial. My mom got up and moved to Arizona from my house in about 45 minutes. And everything just fell apart. I don't know how to explain it, honestly. And it's such a different stress level. I'm like, I got this. We're going to figure this out. Everything's going to be fine. And I think it's because of, like you said, time moves. Your experiences build on yourself. And I'm here. So,
Priscilla, thank you so much for sitting down and sharing with me.
I'm glad to do so. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, some moments are meant to be.
Yes.
This is one.
Right?
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to get to know you just a little bit more.
You're very welcome. Thanks for sharing with me.
Thank you.
Hi, and welcome back to the couch here at Mom 2.0 Summit. So, on the couch today, I got Veronica. Veronica, all I heard was that you're a sleep coach, a gentle sleep. What is that? Okay, so you're a sleep coach.
Yes, and I'm sure if you're a mom, you have heard about the term sleep training. It has a lot of traction lately, like you either love it or hate it. So what a sleep coach does is that I help moms to bring healthy sleep habits into their homes, either by sleep training, which is teaching their babies how to sleep on their own, so that babies don't wake up like thousands times at night. Or, I mean, they will wake up, but at least they won't wake you up because they will know how to go back to sleep on their own. So basically, I help moms to teach their own kids or their own babies that skill. I work with babies starting 0 months until 5 years. And basically, during the first years, I just teach moms how to like build a healthy sleep foundation, work around schedules, how to wean from night feedings, the right time to put them down, how to put them down, and all that. And as they grow older, we start implementing a few strategies. For example, with toddlers, how to teach them to do things on their own, like get water on their own at night, or how to manage nightmares or night terrors. So there's a lot of things happening at night.
Yeah, night terrors. I still have night terrors. I still have a lot of. We always go through these conversations about my sleep and like how it's so relevant to like my day to day. So, but when it's okay for me, I feel like kids hate sleeping. They don't like to sleep, and they especially don't like to sleep on their schedule. So it's a difficult like place to be. So how is it that you interact with the parents to be able to give them that advice or be able to like coach them through the process?
Yeah, well, they hate sleep because I feel like they have FOMO. Like they
Fear of
know
missing
that
out. Yeah, they
things
do.
are happening.
Yeah, when they are asleep.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm sleeping and something's happening out there. For example, my 6-year-old daughter just told my 2-year-old son, like, hey, did you know that our parents, they watch TV when we are sleeping at night? And my almost 3-year-old was like, what? You watch TV? So, and the other day after that, he said like, Mom, I want to stay up and watch TV with you. So he was fighting sleep, right? So anyway, yeah, they want to stay up. They want to stay with us. So sometimes, and that's why sometimes we end up lying with them at night, like close to their crib or close to their toddler's bed because they want to be close to us.
And how do we manage? Well, we work with their biology. So kids we all have an internal clock. We all produce melatonin around the same time every night. So we work around that, around their nature. So babies or small kids, they are ready to go to bed between 7 and 8. So if we work on the right conditions and the right environment, and we help them understand that, they will eventually go to sleep. So, but if we are doing that before it's time or very late, then it's not going to work. I help parents to stay very consistent with bedtime routines, with having a wake up time, like waking up your kids at the same time, with offering a nap at the same time. I explain them, okay, your baby, because of his or her age, she needs 1 nap or 2 naps or even 3 naps. And we work with their wakeful windows again, and just to be sure that we're putting them down at the correct time. So that way, again, we're working with their biology, with their nature, and it's just gonna go or flow better.
Why is it important for children and young children to sleep that length of time? Sometimes they're out for 10 hours at a time. Why is it important that they sleep, that they get their night's rest, or they get that day nap? Why is it? Why would that be important? Does it affect like their neurological in the future, in the moment?
Definitely their development. I mean, they are growing, and a lot of growth happens at night, especially during the first year. Their brains grow up like 90%, 95%. So they do need sleep, and they do need sleep to process everything that they are learning during the day. And if you're a mom, you might notice if your baby is not sleeping, or if your baby skips a nap, he will be irritable, fussy. A toddler that's not sleeping will have more meltdowns. And let's just not talk about babies, but ourselves. When you wake up early or when you go to bed at night, you're in the worst mood ever. The difference is that like, okay, I didn't sleep last night. That's where I'm cranky. Babies and small kids don't know. So it has a major impact on their mood and their ability to regulate their emotions. So they are not able to regulate their emotions. They're learning how to, because they are 2 or 3. And then trying to do that while they are sleep deprived, it's just chaos. And if they are sleep deprived, you are sleep deprived, because chances are that they actually woke you up at night. And then it's just a cheat show. And I'm sorry if I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word.
No, I'm very comfortable with that. It is a shit show.
Yeah, it is.
It is, because we can't take sometimes naps in the middle of the day, but they can. So
Exactly.
when they're tired, they go to sleep. When it's a moment and they're like, no, you know what, I'm kind of tired. I'll just, I'll take a nap. They have that capability because their responsibilities are much more limited than ours are, right? And so when we don't sleep, it's hard to get them in the routine to go back to sleep. It's frustrating. That process of sleep for children is frustrating. It to no end. Like, it makes me mad just thinking about the lost sleep that I got. Like, back, my son is 21. Okay, I'm still thinking about the lost sleep that I got that I didn't have back then. So how is it? Why is it important for you to put them on a schedule? And I know this sleep is important because they have developmental growth when they're sleeping, right? But how important is it for them, for the parent to understand that yes, they develop at night, but even outside of that, for you as a personal person, it's also important because you get your routine back. You get your time back.
Your freedom. Like, sometimes just knowing that, okay, my baby's going to wake up at this time, then I know that I can get up an hour early or 30 minutes early to have my coffee or check my emails or just meditate or do a workout or whatever. And then knowing that, in my case, my 3-year-old is going and he's going to take a nap at 12:30, then I know that from 12:30 to 1:30, I can sit down and eat. I can take a shower. I can take a meeting. Like, it just gives me stability and more freedom. And some people think that it's the opposite, like having a schedule, it just will have you tied to your house. And it's just another way to see it. I think the other way, it just, you are more free to schedule things around that. And I don't know, for me, it's just sanity. And it's easier to make exceptions once you have like a starting point, which is a schedule.
Yeah. Okay. So where can we find you? If I'm like, all right, this 2-year-old is and nobody is any help, where can I find you?
I'm at social media at Lullaby Veronica. My
Lullaby
webpage,
Veronica.
yeah,
Okay.
webpage is www.lullabyveronica.com, and actually go there and download a free guide that's called Sleepwise in 4 weeks. So if you have no idea where to start, but you know that you want to do something or that you need to do something different, this guide will help you in 4 weeks introduce healthy sleep habits. And sometimes that's all you need. Just a change of schedule, just establish a healthy foundation, and you will see lots of changes. So I'm not just about sleep training and letting your babies cry. There's a lot of things that we can do. So go there and download the free guide, and we'll talk from there.
Awesome. Bueno, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast and talking to us about sleeping coaching. It's sleeping coach. Yes. Thank you so
It's a
much
new
for coming
term.
in. Yes. I didn't know it was I didn't know like I could. Thank you. I don't know where you were at 20 years ago, but thank you. You exist now. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming onto the podcast.
Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you. Hola and welcome right back to the couch here at Mom 2.0 Summit. So sitting here next to me, I have Anaí. Anaí, introduce yourself to the audience. Who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name is Anaí Gutierrez. I'm from Mexico, but I've been in Tennessee, in Nashville, specifically for 18 years, so they call me a native. Everyone's moving from out of town, and it seems that I've been here forever, so it's... But I am now an emotional eating coach, focusing on helping moms to nourish themselves from inside out by helping them identify factors, either internal and external, that drive their hunger, craving, satiation, and using these same tools for them to apply to their parenting. My health coaching has been going different ways. When I started health coaching, I was really focused on eating healthy because I was dealing with infertility, so I was really focused on eating super clean. And then I had kids, and I was focusing on helping kids build a healthy relationship with food. And then I realized I have so much work on me to do that I am switching my focus on helping moms to build this relationship that I wanted to create with my kids, because I think moms are the ones that we should start working on if we want to be role models for our kids, and if we want to disrupt patterns of eating behaviors and toxic relationships with food.
So it's the eating patterns, or it's the eating, that's the coaching that you do? So how does it look like, or what does it sound like?
So
I'm trying to,
yes.
let's dive deep.
So I am a health coach by the Integrative Institute of New York, and they have a specialty for emotional eating. And when I did that specialty, I realized, I learned that there are many things from outside that make us eat certain ways, or that determine our eating patterns, habits, conducts, such as external factors like your tias telling you about your weight, and that might change you for life, and that might change your awareness about you or your confidence about you, and might take you to different eating patterns. Or internal patterns might be learning how to read to your body and noticing if you're hungry when you're lacking of sleep, or if you're hungry when you ate this food. So I'm trying to help moms identify these factors, how it impacts on their life, so they can make better decisions on their eating. And that it's very related to mindful eating, because once you know why you're hungry, or what makes you hungry, or what makes you eat, you can make the conscious decision of what you want to do about it.
So is what you do a lot, and I don't want to assume, so I'm asking because my assumption is, like, my brain is already telling me this is what it is. Is it around weight loss?
No, not really.
Okay.
I've seen, like, there's a very opposing sides of the anti-diet culture, and then the intuitive eating, the anti-diet culture, the intuitive eating, and then people that are saying you are what you eat, blah, blah, blah. I want to come into a middle term, because I think we are very influenced on the culture, and that's what makes us probably try to look a certain way or try to eat certain things. But we also have to look after our health, right? So I just want to build this consciousness that if you want to lose weight or if you want to improve your health, it's because it's from within and not because all of the messages that you're listening. It might improve your health. And my purpose is to help you improve your well-being. But the weight is not, or the weight loss, obesity is not always a factor for health. Actually, there's really skinny people might have better or worse health than people with good eating habits, but maybe they're a little overweight. So I do want to focus on wellness without focusing specifically on weight, but I'm not an anti-diet or I'm not against if someone wants to look better, just for them to find a way that comes from within and then feels good from the inside out.
So I did learn that some skinny people have like fatty livers or fatty around their heart. Just simply because they're skinny doesn't mean that it's a healthy weight.
And I've learned recently, being in this, like there's bulimic and anorexic fat people. You wouldn't imagine that, but there's like weight. Weight is one thing that might tell you about the person's health, but it's not everything. So I'm trying just to build a better relationship with food and with our bodies, and with that, taking better decisions for our wealth.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so where can we find you?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook mostly, healthyharmonycoach.com.
Healthy Harmony.
Most of my content is in Spanish, though.
Okay, no, it's okay. It's okay.
I have a free challenge that is called Ama tu cuerpo, sana tu ser. It's super easy because I know that some people is busy, but you get a weekly mail with some tools to work on, like just 15 minutes to yourself to work on your body acceptance. And I'm creating a course that's going to be called Nutrición Amorosa, where I will teach specifically these factors and how they impact your life, how to recognize them, how to work on them so you can make your decisions about your own health, but with mindfulness, knowing that you're doing it because it's the best thing for you and not because you're sleepless or because you're pressured by our culture where we live.
Yeah, I gotta go check that one out too. Okay. It seems like a lot of you guys are amazing here. You definitely know what it is that you're talking about because you've done your due diligence in your work. So I by listening to what you're saying, absolutely, I agree. I agree that we definitely can use a lot of that.
I hope so. Yeah. I realized going through fertility, I was really focused on food, and it was like a control issue. Yeah. Like the phrase "you are what you eat" was causing me a lot of pressure. Like really thinking that I might not make it. That I started working on my own emotional eating patterns and led me down this road. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what? We always want to show people what we learn.
Yeah, I mean, you are what you eat, what you think, you're a lot of things. So our feelings, eating matter as well.
A heartburn can ruin my day.
Exactly.
So a productive day too at that. So I didn't know that like coffee gave me heartburn. And I was like, oh, okay, because I just started drinking. I was like, you know what? All right, we're done. So, but yes, I definitely have that whole I'm done with the coffee is what I meant, not with the podcast just yet. So I was like, I'm done with coffee. I just started drinking it and I was like, oh, it's probably the milk. No, it's the coffee. It's the caffeine.
The same.
I was like, okay. So I can be a coffee drinker? Fine. Pero thank you so much for coming onto the podcast.
Thank you. I love seeing Latinas in this summit.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I know. I love being here. Yeah. I love seeing all the Latinas come in and see, what is this? Yeah. I liked it a lot. Bueno, entonces, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast, having a quick conversation with me.
Thank you. Bye.
In true honesty, it was absolutely inspiring me to hear and listen to these women talk about their whys. I think I had an author who was asking me, I got a challenge out of it. I think I got a couple of interviews, we were talking about childhood trauma, violence, domestic. It was, when I tell you, my heart and my cup is runneth over, truly, sincerely, I mean that. So I want to thank all the guests who sat with me on this couch during Mom 2.0 Summit. In addition to that, if you like these conversations, what I want you to do is I want you to join Kanika at the Mom Sense podcast. That's Totally Mom Sense. There we go. That's Totally Mom Sense podcast, the official podcast of Mom 2.0. Kanika, Thank you for allowing me to join your space. Also, in addition to the Latina Leadership Podcast. Bueno, entonces, with that being said, thank you to the Mom 2.0 Summits organizers for allowing us to come on and, do it here. I think this, for me, again, my cup runneth over. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. With that being said, we'll see you on the next episode.
What did you think of the conversation? If you enjoyed what you heard, let us know in the comments. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you for listening to the Latina Leadership Podcast, and we will see you next time.